slow. The wind rises.
Alright, you can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit tight until he comes to greet.
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended?
They can't have been at the oasis by chance. They were waiting for us. Whoever the leader is here, they were obviously counting on us showing up.
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they hid themselves here?
Hey, look! That guy's coming back!
Don't worry. Someone will come and call for you soon.
What's your name?
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos. I'll be here if you need me, but I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
So we're free to explore by ourselves.
Yep. I mean, I'm not worried about you running off. Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood...
He's right. Well, if we've got some time, we might as well take a look around.
Quit following me.
Hey, Sethos! Have you got some time to chat?
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean you have questions for me? Not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. We don't get too many visitors. What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows who he is.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him, so...
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could say I've never had the pleasure.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like this guy's not being strong?
Come on, we've only just met. If I give you all the answers up front, you'll have nothing left to look for. Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about Wade. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus...
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. The letter just said that he had uncovered Cyrus's secret. Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly what he was told.
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon as he was...
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging nor defending him. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem, and it was his own choice to take the bait. What kind of question is that?
Right, but back at the...
I've lived in the desert.
Ugh.
Come on, we've only just met. Nope, not...
Really?
I have no need to go there. Not when the taverns are full of the Urakas of this world. Besides, we're well aware of what goes on at that place. Spies? It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open. Anyone's free to walk in. You can find out all you need to know just by walking around town and hearing the word on the street. Mm-hmm.
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere like this. We've passed through these parts before, but never noticed anything.
That's King Deshret's technology for you, I guess. It borders on the miraculous. Amazing to think that it's been preserved intact all this time.
We should be wary of our hosts. Still, at this point, we can be confident that the Professor is safe and sound, so that's something.
Here he is. Grandfather, the person you wish to see is here.
Well done, Sethos. Greetings, one and all. I am Ba Moon, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. I know...
Professor!
Cyrus, are you okay?
Ah!
Watch what you're doing!
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand, Cyrus owes me his life. And to the Temple of Silence, he owes a debt of gratitude. I let him go a long time.
I wanted to end my feud with this old bag of bones before you caught up with me. Just leave, Sino. This is a matter between us two old men.
So that's why you didn't want to report the letter. You'd made up your mind to come here.
Some things in life catch up with you. No matter what you do, you shouldn't have come.
Sino didn't make us do anything. We came here for the same reason he did. To rescue you. We'd appreciate you telling us the truth.
My secrets are secret for good reason.
You're afraid, aren't you? You can't bring your... You recognized our emblem because for many years, you lived among us. You knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. Your own guilt. For you, Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, and joined us in our... But then, you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past contributions. We both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave. But that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
You really know how to hold a grudge.
Hermanubis' might? And the wielder of his power?
Does he mean you?
Professor, anything to say?
The moon is right. I came here once before. They rescued me from the brink of death once. many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was a scholar, he invited me to come here. It was a great, daring plan, and one shrouded in secrecy. Bamoon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Herbanubis, into the bodies. Many believers volunteered themselves for the experiment. But we soon discovered that the bodies of grown adults could not withstand Hermanubis'. One other child was identified as a suitable vessel, and his parents agreed to release him.
For many years, the Temple of Silence had been in possession of 2 Ba fragments from Hermanubis. The test subjects were sent into a room that had been prepared for the ceremony, and instructed to approach the Ba fragments. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment. As the second stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed. Our 2 vessels had both displayed great promise by successfully resonating with the fragments. Under the circumstances, the thought of implanting both fragments into the same vessel seemed out of the question. To preserve our faith and our power.
Ultimately, I ended the experiment.
In recognition of your past contributions, I chose not to send someone to hunt down and kill you both. Your lives were spared. I have always wanted to see you, Sino.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
Look, in essence, I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so. And now you are seeking. But you cannot lift a finger against Sino. He is the General Mahab.
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Sino, but you've met us all before. You were so young. You and he, Sethos. You were our final hope.
You'd like me to return my power?
As a follower of Hermanubis, I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is time to reclaim it.
That power is not yours to reclaim.
You are wrong. Sino was chosen, but he was not the only one. My child...
So those are your terms for freeing the professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent party. It is because of my...
So what you're saying is, the power of 1 Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking me to return the one in my possession, so it can be implanted in him instead?
Divine power causes great suffering to those who...
He is no longer a small child. But regardless, this burden is ours to bear, and your objections...
Both my heart and mind are telling me that what you are proposing...
Don't listen to him, Sino!
I know. But if this is a question of your freedom...
Sorry to interrupt, but in my view, say that Sino refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release Cyrus. Then, we are at an impasse. You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining cards close to your chest. Well...
Wait. Those ears... So, we have a descendant of the Valukashuna in our midst. Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we'll...
Why is he coughing so much? He looks like he's in really bad shape.
Moon, you...
Take our leader back to his room.
Sethos...
Grandfather. I don't like to drag out conversations, so I'll just cut to the chase. Had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago, the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been all. Still, it's no use talking about what. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill. So it's somewhat inevitable for. But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. Time has worn away at its prestige and changed things almost beyond recognition. So I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave. Except for Cyrus. My grandfather gave him his chance once. And now I'm giving the rest of you.
You have courage and wise judgment, kid. Reminds me a lot of Bamoon in his younger years. I truly wish that the temple would take an objective look at the academia of today. And things will only continue to improve. Why not consider cooperating with the academia?
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion.
Tighnari made a good point earlier. He said there has to be more. All you and Ba-Moon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept whatever fate you deem fit for him out of a sense of guilt. Ultimately, you want to trade the Ba fragment for the professor, correct?
I'm glad to see you're giving it.
I won't forsake my professor. Nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner or later.
That works. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus, so I'll be escorting.
Are you sure about negotiating with him?
I need to think this through. Everyone, let's meet again later tonight. Until then, take some time for yourself.
Alright, well, don't put too much pressure on yourself, Taino. If you need any help
Too slow. Squall and Fury.
Shower me with the fire hazard!
You're the fairy. Day. The wind rises. Fairy. Quit following me.
Solidify!
The wind rises.
Stabilize!
Time for a light show!
Squall and Fury. Behold! The wind rises. Squall and Fury. Behold! Quit following me. Squall and Fury. Surge forth. Relax. You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem. Too slow.
Add as. Thank you for complete. Add as. Rebooting.
Yeah! Quit following me. Behold! Squall and Fury! Behold! Too slow. Quick fall, the wind rises. Too slow. Squall and Fury.
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never return. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince...
I agree. My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind...
So that's one... You've heard all you need to hear about the temple. My own memories of this place are hazy, though. Probably something to do with the I do remember having some fleeting moments of profound emotion when vague images would appear in my mind. But I don't recall much, only I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back, the power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the...
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way!
No. I have no intention of returning it. I need this power to protect Sumeru. But the temple has the right to make the final decision over its fate, so I will challenge them head-on, and win the right to wield this power for myself, fair and square.
This reminds me of something Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. He said that the Temple of Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many... I think we could turn that to our advantage. Go back to them with a proposal of our own.
Wow, and just like that, we've turned the tables.
Looks like we have the same idea. Turn it back on them now while we still can, in terms that they cannot refuse.
Great. And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Sethos. We'll tell him that I know a thing or two about
Behold! The wind rises. Quit following me. Squall and fury.
Sethos, let's talk.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I have some
I have no objections, although we do have our own doctors here. I doubt you'll be able to tell us anything we don't already know.
Only one way to find...
Follow me. Keep your voices down.
Let's talk outside. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and his prognosis is quite grim. He appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth, which has been exacerbated over the years by... Regretfully, I must inform you that, based on what I've seen with patients in a similar condition...
Yeah.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. But you also see things differently. You have a broader range of so tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is still alive to...
Yeah, there's no time to waste here.
You know, the two of you are actually in a very similar predicament right now. Both of you...
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did, but somehow you...
You're right. We both look at... I accept, Sino. This all began because of Hermanubis. So let's end it. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred with the city's residents. He and that group of supporters were some of the first members of the...
Sounds very fitting.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run deep. So I will permit you to participate in this rite,
3 against 3.
However, I have some additional terms. As the challengers, you must win all 3 of your fights to win. And Sino? Both of us. Letting Cyrus leave with one of the Ba fragments was a mistake, made by my grandfather out of pity. It is a long—
None needed. If I win, the Temple of Silence must release Cyrus, and consider this past dispute resolved. If you win, I'll return my power to you.
It's a deal. Then let's meet at the ceremonial hall tomorrow evening.
Too slow.
Well, after how that went, there's definitely no turning back now.
There never was. Turning back hasn't been an option for me since the moment the professor slipped away to return to the desert.
You have to win. You need this power, both as General Mahamatra.
Yeah, that's right! Besides, it stayed with you ever since you were a small child.
Both as General Maham... Yeah, when you put it that way. I've had to overcome a lot to tame this power and claim it for myself.
Exactly!
The Traveler and I will never lose.
And neither shall I. The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out. But there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Ba-Moon cares for many more things than...
Behold! Quit following me. There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever. Relax. There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence. slow. Upon the gale.
We gather on this day to perform once more the rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis, as our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies, and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect and reverence, through representing the Temple of Silence, the Defenders.
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years. I am surprised by your decision, Sethos.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather.
Representing the Academia, the Challengers.
Ready. We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide. We come not to debate what brings our challengers here, nor what will become of the defeated duelists. Duelists!
Huh? Are you sure?
I agree. She's very strong. Sending her out first will definitely intimidate the opposing side.
Okay, then you're second.
Sure.
We have decided.
So have we. Let's begin.
Duelists of the first bout, please step forward. A swift end to the first bout. I now invite the duelists of the second bout to please step forward. When you're both ready, you may begin.
Let's begin.
Watch out!
Go, Kunai, go!
He drank plenty of water before the battle, so he should be fine.
I'll uproot you! One with the force. Can't see? And shroud! Keep up!
Thus ends the second bout. We will now move to the third bout. Duelists, please step forward.
I'm ready.
So am I.
This is the final stage of the rite. I remind, when you're both ready, you may begin.
I am Sethos, vessel of Hermanubis. For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis by guarding the secrets of King Deshret. And even in our darkest hour, we earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power. Now, I will fight to become the rightful wielder of that power!
I am Sino, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spantamad. I fight in defense of my power, my professor, and my nation. And you, I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching. So bare your soul.
Everyone, old and young, fit and my grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler, but our faith has held us back for too long. Times have changed. The people of Then I thought of you, Sino. You and I, each Ba fragment of Hermanubis. I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another.
I am more than just a warrior. I am my own person.
Exactly.
The name Hermanubis has left its mark on both of us. Shaped. So show me your answer, Sino. Show me I can be more than my faith. More than the power I wield. Bring it on!
That's all you've got? What happened to searching for your answer? Fight's over. Do you yield?
You won.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
I give his glory to you.
I've seen that light. That is the light of our Lord. The great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of TaTxTnT. There, they founded the Temple of Silence, and from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a century passed before war ravaged the desert. One by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization. Only the wise city of TaTxTnT was spared under the guiding hand of the Tynarians. But peace did not last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on TaTxTnT. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory. The ruling elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival, he broke his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers. With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the TaTxTnT Tynarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest. What followed next was inevitable. The elite of TaTxTnT fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long. Yet, today, the Temple of Silence has borne witness to the glory of Hermanubis once more. Thank you.
How is it? Do you feel okay?
Grandfather.
Hey, Sethos. You'll get through this.
I know. I'll miss him.
I guess you were prepared for this. It's been a long time coming, huh?
He's been on death's door for a very... At least, he was able to see this chapter come to a close before he passed.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanupis fragments.
But that's never... I did foresee this possibility, and I gave it some thought. The fact is, I know next to nothing about the staff, records, and environment here. As such, I am Sethos. Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would
You really think so?
I do.
Still, I didn't think Bamoon looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, in any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots. Sethos, I would like you to succeed Bamoon as the new leader of the
But doesn't that render everything that...
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become friends, which means that's a much bigger deal than you might think, Sethos.
I will try.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Bamoon's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel. That way, no matter who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment. Had you won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled it, and were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple. Much less, he knew that the temple's future would depend not just on the guidance of Hermanubis, but the support of the academia too. So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor. No matter what happened after that, it would result in a net benefit to the temple.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these. You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle. We had to find a way to mend our relationship with the academia. In that sense, the right of duels was just a means to an end. Thank you for everything, Sino. As a gesture of our gratitude, to those that you and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, I will grant the honor of access to the Temple of Silence for their pursuit of knowledge. The Temple of Silence has a wealth of information, but you must be exceedingly careful with your selection of candidates. By the way, Tainari, my grandfather was so happy to see you. You are a descendant. The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis. He went on to fight many valiant... The Tainarians who left too late to... In all likelihood...
How fascinating. My father once mentioned that I was named...
I like this story.
By the way, has anyone seen Cyrus?
Yes, Cyrus. You'll probably find him in my grandfather's room. He wouldn't show it in front of me, but I think he still has many fond memories of my grandfather.
If it's true that you and your grandfather really...
Who knows? Perhaps all of us. You, me, and Cyrus. We're all just pawns in my grandfather's plan to set things straight. He was awful like that.
Someone's got to make the decisions. I will make a detailed report on all of this. I'm sure you'll have lots to... if we're going to work...
I will. Alright, well...
See you soon. Come hang out with us anytime.
Squall and Fury. Behold!
What were you thinking, gallivanting off into the desert alone at your age? What if you take the bucket, You told not a soul what you were up to.
Oh, please, will you stop your yelling?
What do you mean, what other choice? Do you mean to tell me that after all your years of learning, and sagehood no less, the only idea you could conjure up in that white-haired walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some hot-headed 20-year-old adventurer? A one-man suicide mission, That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it? It astounds me that you survived the journey, and you're lucky that Ba Moon didn't finish you off when you arrived.
All right, all right. Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's like...
I've got nothing more to say. What's the point of berating an old bag of bones?
What do you mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh-and-blood hero, who despite it... Okay, look. Fine, I admit it, I was in the wrong. How can I make it up to you?
1 month? Try 3.
Inari's master is really laying into Cyrus. Let's give them a wide berth.
Wow, I haven't seen Master get this right. The last time he chewed someone out like this...
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation's resolved. We can go for dinner afterwards. My treat. You in?
Makes sense. I'm in.
You'd better start packing your things. Report for...
What about my allowance? Oh,
don't push your luck.
Hey, man.
Is it possible to install the vision?
Hey, Kale.
You're back!
Well, look who we have here. Would you mind explaining to me what has been going on this past few days?
All taken care of.
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block.
Now would not be a good time to attempt to argue with Farazan.
You're right.
It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make myself clear? Because if you don't,
Kale, please do something.
He's giving me the signal. All right, guess it's say, Madam Farazan, I can see you're pretty
Huh? Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful.
Poor Kale getting dragged off like that. Also, check out Farazan acting like...
Kale! Cup.
Huh? What?
What do you mean, cup?
Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me to stay hydrated while I'm out and about.
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe. Tainari and I used it while we were in school, and it's become something of a family tradition now.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. 2 people left. Let's bring them along too. Am I hallucinating? Or do I see Kaveh and Alhaitham engaged in diligent studying?
We're just reorganizing all—
There's no rush. Nobody reads these books anyway.
My sincere thanks to you.
Yes, with your help, we resolved the issue rather swiftly and painlessly.
I see. The Temple of Silence resorted to rather unique means of self-preservation. It explains how they managed to remain hidden for so many years.
And it sounds like they managed to preserve a whole load of ancient documents as well. I'd love to go check those out if I ever had the chance.
That day will come. The Temple of Silence is a hugely important organization, and we'll be sure to maintain good relations with them in the future. Now, as a token of my appreciation...
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great. Although, after the last few days, I don't know if I can handle another coffee. But I can just order something else.
Sure.
Quit following me.
There are so many local specialties in Sumeru. I want
Don't
to buy
you remember
more.
your adventure plans, my lady?
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem.
The wind rises.
And then the Traveler just pounced on their opponent and knocked them right out cold. Then there was Tainari. He put up an amazing fight too. We ended up winning all 3 bouts. Whoa. Part of me wishes I'd been there to see it, but I'd have been fine.
A truly edifying account of the events. Bereft of detail.
Hey, Paimon included all the juicy details. The Traveler just pounced and then waved their sword like this, then spun around and blocked.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader to him. That's very dignified of you, Sino.
Of course. Being dignified comes with being a true champion.
I got to be a champion too for once. I've not sparred much with desert folk before. It was a pretty unique experience.
Yeah! Huge place! It felt like something right out of an epic poem! Imagine this. It was like there was...
Maybe save that one for later.
I think that'll do me for today.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again?
My thoughts exactly. See you around.
I should get going as well. See you all later.
I need to go say thanks to the Core 30 for their help. Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to some of the Academia's work process.
Kale's come a long way.
Everyone's a work in progress.
Yeah, true.
these moments when you can finally relax and hang out with good friends after a job well done.
Do you three have anything planned for the rest of the day? If not, would you come somewhere with me? That's a secret.
Okay. I think I can guess what you're talking about.
Well, now Paimon's curious. Come on.
It's called...
Behold! Too slow. Quit following me.
Been a while since I last made my way up here. Need any help? As you wish.
It's a nice spot, isn't it?
What a great view! We're so high up, we can see for miles!
Traveler, turn around. This is my secret base. Somewhere I only bring my best friends. When I was a student, I used to slip away and climb up. Back then, I had a lot of the same questions that Sethos was asking. Our gifts help us to find our rightful place in the world. That was my...
You two really are like brothers.
I feel the same way.
I still remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework. Sino accidentally dropped a fruit. Luckily, he has fast reflexes, so he caught it just in time.
That was the one and only time. Nothing will ever slip through.
Those were...
You know, Paimon really shouldn't be able to imagine Sino doing something like that, but for some strange reason...
Then make it stop. It's Professor Cyrus. You guys carry on.
Okay.
Huh? Hey, you're not supposed to jump down!
I do try to lighten the mood sometimes, but I'm not the best judge of other people's sense of humor.
Oh my days. I can't believe how stupid I look in this one.
Professor, what are you muttering to yourself about?
Sino. Just the man I'm looking for. Guess what I found in some old notebooks?
Some old photos?
Can you believe it? I was at the Academia earlier to discuss my workload with Nephis. I swung by the old office. Oh, time flies. Look how tiny you are in this picture.
You look quite young yourself in that one. Ah, it's this one. I remember that. Lisa took it, didn't she?
Yep. Looks like her work, all right.
And this one.
Oh, cheeky girl. Taking secret photos of a...
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Like what? Like... hey. At moments like this, I hardly know... I can't pretend I'm a good person. Bamoon had every reason to despise me. And well, so do you if you feel the same way. Is that not what you wanted me to say? Oh, I've dreamt of that place many times after leaving the desert. Sometimes I've dreamed that I was doing research with them again. And other times, I dream of the day they saved my life. Oh, it was... You've matured so much over the years, I know.
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on all the
Good thinking. Take your own advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? I thought heroes were supposed to be gracious. Hey, wait, how did I not notice this one earlier?
Lisa...
Look how cute you were when you were little. I remember how well-mannered you were back then.
Yeah, and look how serious and
Oh, I can't compete with you anymore. First you get...
Don't say...
That's more like it. Hey, what would you say to meeting up with Lisa?
I'd like that. Let's find a time and pay her a visit in Mondstadt.
All right, I'll add it to my schedule. Let's... Wait, no. Next week is the tomato growing competition. I have got to...
Or you could find a real hobby, Professor.
Squall and Fury!
I can do this. I know I can.
What are you staring at? Scram!
Relax.
That's all from my daughter. This is Fatui territory, you hear?
Relax.
Fatui territory, you hear?
The wind rises! Squall and Fury!
Too slow. Too slow. Quit following me. Quit following me. Too slow. Quit following me.
Join me! Give Windtrace a go!
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation. Too slow. Too slow. Relax. There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever. Quit following me. Too slow. Too slow. Quit following me. 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 Quit following me. Too slow. Quit following me.
Fuse is lit!
Stabilize! Freeze!
Time for a light show!
Upon the gale.
Strike a pop! The fuse is lit!
Order guide you. Gather.
Now you've got me worked up. Look at me. Just... There you are.
Another test subject.
Behold!
Squall and Fury.
Are you
Stabilize.
here to shower me with praise?
No escape!
Behold!
I got careless.
Quit following me.